Vicky, you've been involved with Harley Week for a long time now. How many years now?
I think this is the 7th year that we're actually doing an official event, yes.
Okay, so you're very well qualified to explain. How is the financial side put together? Who pays for what? Because people ask questions and they don't exactly know how it works.
So it's quite simply done through contracts that we have in place with Hibiscus Coast Municipality and the Ugu South Coast Tourism Authority, where portions of monies are paid from those two associations towards Harley for specific things. So for instance, the budget that comes through from South Coast Tourism gets put through to the media spend. Over this weekend now, we will host, I think, 30 media houses, and that money gets used for paying the aircraft.
Sorry for interruption. How much money is that?
I'm sure tourism would happily answer those questions. I'm obviously bound by my own contracts with Harley-Davidson, but in terms of the financial understandings, I'm sure that is open to public scrutiny, absolutely, through their various boards and committees.
Yeah, and I presume the same goes for HCM as well.
Correct. And with HCM, although the amount that they pay is not a huge amount, what they give in time and services is massive. So they obviously supply us with traffic infrastructure. They assist with I know it's a bit of a sore subject, the potholes and that type of thing, but we make sure that the potholes are fixed because we cannot have a biker damaging themselves or their bikes during this festival. It should be like that all year round, I understand, but as the person, the local events coordinator, we need to make sure that we address all of those type of issues. So Hibiscus Coast Municipality are incredible in their resources and in the funding that they put in to ensure that obviously this event, Carl mentioned in an earlier interview, it's between 80 and 100 million rand that gets generated in revenue to our coast, to the people that live here over that weekend. So it's an important aspect for them to get involved with funding these type of events to bring in revenues.
Complaint in the past has been from smaller businesses. They say it's all the big guys that make the money and they don't make anything. You know, the whole thing passes them by.
Not necessarily. We obviously make use of all local contractors where possible. So we make use of local scaffolding companies, local tenting, local electrical supply. Whoever can do the job locally gets the opportunity to do the job locally. If it's something that cannot be done locally, that has to be done by Harley-Davidson, then obviously it's done by Harley-Davidson. All the banners that you see printed, the Harley-Davidson printed banners, those come from Milwaukee and from Oxford. That's where they get printed. So those type of things that are registered that need to come in from other areas come in from other areas.
Vicky, a bone of contention at some stage was the 250 rands that people had to pay to get into a restricted area. Exactly, what is the situation there?
Yes, it actually was something which I kicked up my heels about as well, because we're understanding that most of the events throughout the world are run where it's for free. People can access everything for free. However, we had to take very good direction from Harley-Davidson. The one top aspect around this event that has always been one of the main features, if anything were to happen to anybody in sight, if anyone were to be injured or hurt by a motorcycle that went out of control, it certainly would be the end of Africa Bike Week. Last year and the year before, we've had to close the site on numerous occasions. It just becomes too congested. The amount of people, there's mothers pushing trolleys with babies and children and bikes, too much is actually going on in the actual site. So what Harley have done is a compromise in order to try and make sure that they tick the correct safety boxes, is still allow in as many bikes as that are wanting to come into the area to park in the actual parked area. We can park 4,500 bikes in the rendezvous parking. Other than that, there's about 5,500 parking spaces in the actual buildings that support the accommodation. So that's close to 10,000 bikes that will be parked on site. In terms of driving through the actual event site, they've limited those numbers. They've charged a registration fee and they've done that, so they have control. There's now, when you register, we know who you are, we know that you're driving through the area, and there's a way and a means of obviously having an association with that person, and it's also lessening the chance of extra numbers being in the area. The money that's being used for that is budgeted into the Africa Bike Week line item budget that Harley-Davidson is control of, and that money gets used, I'm assuming, for additional security and for additional media and marketing that we've put in place to let people know that this is what is happening.
So what you're saying, the problems that sort of threatened to pop up a while back, they've all now been put to bed?
The problems in terms of too many people on site, it is a problem. So yes, that has been, I would say, addressed in this manner, if I'm understanding you correctly.
Okay, obviously you're Wozani Africa. Now, how exactly does Wozani Africa fit into the bigger picture of things?
We were the founders of the event when the event first started, and we're the local event coordinator. So our job is to liaise with local council, local municipality, and to look for opportunities for Harley Davidson. We obviously get involved with safety and security aspect. We assist them with the disaster management aspect through council and through the good work that council does. So anything that happens locally, Wozani Africa does.
What does Wozani Africa get? Does it get a fixed amount? Does it get a percentage of the proceeds? How does it work?
Wozani Africa has a contract in place with Harley Davidson, and they pay us a fee in order to help assist with this event.
So it's with Harley Davidson, not with the HE?
No, absolutely, it's with Harley Davidson. Yes, they're our client.
Vicky, thank you.
Thank you.